The name of today's lesson is endurance. Again, the name of today's lesson is endurance. 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 All right. Shabbat shalom to everyone that's just entering into the room. So, endurance. Endurance is the power to endure. It's the power to endure unpleasant and difficult situations without giving way. It is how one can remain firm in suffering and or some type of misfortune without yielding. One that endure must be strong or have strong tolerance or fortitude, able to take it, able to make it, to endure. Now, the believer, for we as believers, we know the transforming or transitioning from one way of thinking to another can never really be. Is to in this walk affects us in many different ways, but the rules are the same. The way in which we reach our goals may differ, but the rules are the same. Each and every one of us must learn how to endure. We have to learn how to endure with patience, and we have to learn how to endure with. All right, let's get First Peter. First Peter chapter 4, verse 12.
First Peter 4 and 12. Behold, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial, which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened unto you.
So suffering for the Messiah's sake, brothers and sisters, suffering for the Messiah's sake is what proves you. And if you're not suffering for the Messiah's sake, you're suffering for your own sake. But for whatever reason, whatever the cause, is to bring about a change. The suffer that you endure or the pressure that you take on is to bring about a change. Verse 13.
But rejoice inasmuch as ye are partakers of Yahweh's sufferings, that when his glory shall be revealed, ye may be glad also with exceeding joy. If ye be reproached for the name of Yahweh, happy are ye, for the spirit of glory and of Yah resteth upon you. On their part, he is evil spoken of, but on your part, he is glorified.
Come on.
But let none of you suffer as a murderer, or as a thief, or as an evildoer, or as a busybody in other men's matters.
So let not one of you suffer for as a murderer, a thief, an evildoer, a busybody, or in other men's matter. So in other words, don't suffer for the sake of sin, but rather for the forsaking of your sin. You understand that? Don't suffer for the sake of sin, but suffer rather for the forsaking of your sin. I forsook that sin. That is the reason why I'm suffering now. I've been betrayed because I denied myself the pleasures of this world. I'm being betrayed because I no longer do that. I'm doing this. See the difference? Let's go to James. James, the first chapter, verses 2 and 3.
James 1, verse 2 and 3. My brethren, count it all joy when ye fall into diverse temptations, knowing this, that the trying of your faith worketh patience.
The trying of your faith worketh patience. But first, let's go back to verse 2. Count it all joy when you fall in diverse temptations. Temptations testifies about who you are. We say it again. When you fall into the diverse temptations, it is a testimony. It is a testimony testifies about who you are. Put it another. When you fall into various temptations, or diverse temptations, it's more about you than others. Because oftentimes we don't see ourselves clearly. We don't see what we do. So the Most High have to put a mirror in front of you and show you yourself. Yes, you're nasty. Yes, you're mean. Yes, you got a smart mouth. Yes, you got an attitude. Yes, you're a very, very difficult person to deal with. But you don't know that about yourself. So he'll put an adversity or temptation in front of you, and you bite that apple, and then you say, oh, you're supposed to say, oh, that's me. When you're changing your spirit, when you're becoming a new person, you're supposed to say, oh, man, I do that. I got folks out. I shouldn't do that. You're supposed to see yourself when you fall into diverse temptations. Second point, in verse 3, knowing that the trying of your faith works patience. The trying of your faith are tests that comes to prove you. You need more faith, your faith is tried. You need more patience, your patience is tested. You need more love, your life is examined. You need better understanding of Yah's word, you pushed a little bit harder, a little bit further. The test, brothers and sisters, can only be improved upon in your failure. I say it again real loud for the cheap seats back in the back. The test can only be improved upon in your failure. When you fail, you're supposed to have the spirit to say, I need to improve myself, not get worse. Some folk get worse. You're supposed to get better. You see that about yourself and improve that about yourself. Work to how you can improve it. That's taking on a new man, a new spirit. Most people don't want to hear what you're saying about the Bible is because you haven't changed. It's you. You the reason why they don't want to come to the truth. You nasty. You're ugly. You're mean. You don't show love. Your test comes to prove you in your failure. Let's get Proverbs 24:16. Proverbs 24, verse 16.
Proverbs 24:16. For a just man falleth 7 times and rise up again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief.
The wicked shall fall into mischief. Mischief meaning bad habits, right? Your bad habits becomes wickedness. Say it again. Your mischief is bad habits, and those bad habits become wickedness. Because your bad habits become a hindrance to your character, and is what we like to call sometimes a character flaw. This is your character flaw, your bad habits. It in turn becomes mischief. Your mischief in turn becomes sin. Or as the Bible here in Proverbs says, wicked. The just man falls 7 times and rises up again. But you, with your bad habits, you don't get back up again. You lie in your fallen state, and it becomes sin. Psalms 34:19.
Psalm 34, verse 19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Most High deliver him out of them all.
The Most High delivers you out of them all. The Most High will deliver you from your troubles when your heart is right. The Most High will deliver you out of all of your afflictions when your heart is right. When you're righteous, he'll deliver you. If your heart is not right, don't look for help. Why should he help? Why should he help you when your heart is not right? Why would the Most High go against his own judgment in regards to you? Why would the Most High deliver you out of your troubles? That's what we have to ask ourselves. Because a lot of folk be, oh, Most High, do this for me. Most High, do that for me. But why would the Most High deliver you out of your troubles if your heart is not right? If you remain unfaithful, if you remain unstable, if you remain out of order, why should he deliver you? What is it about you where he should come and rescue you? That's what we have to think about when we're asking for stuff. Oh, I need. Oh, I want. Oh, Father, could you? And he's sitting there. When the last time you prayed? When the last time you studied? When the last time you've been faithful? When the last time I could count on you? When the last time about your brother? When the last time you talked to your sister? When the last time you showed forgiveness? When the last time you showed mercy? Why should I do it for you? We ask the Most High for unreasonable stuff. We have unreasonable request, something that we would never do for anybody else. But we wanted all the blessings. Give me the blessings, Father. See me, Father. Bless me, Father. You doing the Esau. You doing the old Esau. Oh, bless me, Father. See me, Father. Me, is there one blessing for me, Father? No. There's not a blessing for you. You're raised hell all week. No, you unfaithful. No, I won't bless you. Why should I bless you? You unsteady. I can't count on you for nothing. Why should I bless you? Your heart is not right. So what you got fringes on? You still wicked as hell. These are things we have to think about. We steady begging, but we're unfaithful. We want the Most High to endow us with, lavish us with great gifts and love, but we're unaccountable. He can't get 10 minutes along with you. Let's get Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, for those that may be new that's in here. Ecclesiasticus, out of the Apocrypha, the book of Sirach, chapter 2. Start at verse 1.
Ecclesiastes 2:1. My son, if thou come to serve the Most High, prepare thy soul for temptation. Set thy
Prepare
heart
yourself for temptation. You better prepare yourself for temptation. Prepare yourself by building on a solid foundation.
set thy
That's
heart
how you prepare yourself, by building on a solid foundation. Verse 2, read on.
Set thy heart right and constantly endure and make not haste
and constantly, and set your heart, fix your heart. To set your heart right means to fix your heart, to fix your mind on righteousness, and constantly, continuously, without a breakage, fix it on enduring. And make not haste, the scripture says, in the time of trouble, meaning don't hurry up and try to escape out of whatever you in, because your trouble is there to let you know I need to improve myself. That's why it hurts. Pain comes to wake you up out of your stupor, for you to understand I need to move. I need to be doing something different. I need to be acting a different way. I need to be more accountable. I need to be more prayerful. I need to be more something else I need to be doing. That's what pain comes to do. If you're not feeling no pain, then you just may not be going to the kingdom. Because you're supposed to, because whenever you becoming a new creature, something's supposed to go out. Ouch. I gotta change that. The attitude sucks. I need to change that. My mouth sucks. I need to change that. I ain't got enough love for my brother. I need to change that. Don't hurry up and get out that trouble. You need to be trying to figure out, why am I in this trouble? I get in this, and what is the Most High telling me about me? I'm blaming nobody else. What is it about me I need to change? did this to me. Well, but she did that to me. What is it about me I need to change? Make up in your mind, brothers and sisters, that you're not going to give up. Make up in your mind that you're going to dig in, that you're not going to falter, you're not going to waver, you're not going to fail, and that your heart is fixed and your mind is made up that you are going to endure with whatever it takes. I talk to people continuously, and they fall off. They just fall off. They fail. They falter. They waver. And they think they're in righteousness. They're not. They're just as flaky as a bottle of pop cornbread dust. Shaky, unstable. Give me 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter and the 58th verse. What the bishop is saying today is to keep you in the kingdom. I gotta hold on to you, push you through, birth you out into the kingdom of the Most High. If not, you're gonna lose your life and your soul. First Corinthians 15 and 58.
1 Corinthians 15 and 58. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High.
Read again, start over again.
Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Most High.
Abounding in the work of the Most High. Read on.
For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Most High.
In the Most High. I refuse to let anybody or even myself make me falter in this truth. I refuse, brothers and sisters, to let anybody or anyone, even myself, make me falter in this truth. I'm pressing in. I'm pressing towards this mark. I will not fail. So help me, Yah. I will not fail. I'm pressing in. I'm pressing on. Come what may. Don't care who's here and who's there. Don't care who comes and who goes. You got to make up your mind. Servant of the Most High. I'm determined to stick this thing through, all the way through to the kingdom. I'm determined. You got to take that bulldog tenacity. You got to endure. You got to have that endurance. You got to have that testicular fortitude. And hold on. No matter what, hold on. Let's go to verse. We still in. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Let's go back to Ecclesiastes. Start at verse 2 again.
Where we at?
Ecclesiastes, right? I think that was chapter 2. I was at. Was it chapter 2 and verse 2?
Ecclesiasticus 2 and 2. Set thy heart aright and constantly endure, and make not haste in time of trouble.
In the time of trouble. Verse 3.
Cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end.
That you may be increased at the last end. Drop down to verse 10.
Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Most High and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him.
Did the Most High ever fail any of our forefathers? You got to look in the generations of old to see did he ever fail any of our forefathers? It is our own circumstance, brothers and sisters, that causes the failure. I'm gonna tell you straight. It is our own circumstances. It is our own circumstances that cause the failure, not the Most High. Your own inability, your own desire to change, not to change. That old nature. Y'all would never fail us. He never falters. He is the absolute constant. He stays the same. It is you and I to jump in and out of what that he has planned for us. We the ones making them, them terms. But I'm admonishing you today. Hang in there. Don't give up. Don't falter. Whatever the circumstance, hang in there. Now, we have plenty of examples, brothers and sisters, of forefathers, as we just read, who endured and who didn't give up. So we want to read about some instances where he endured. Now, we didn't go through all of the instances where he endured because we would be here all day. But we just want to review one or two or three instances where Brother Paul endured. All right. Let's get 2 Corinthians. Let's get 2 Corinthians. Let's see. Let us get 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians, the 11th chapter and the 23rd verse. Let's start at 23.
2 Corinthians 11:23. Are they ministers of Yahushua? I speak as a fool. I am more, and labors more abundant, and stripes above measure, and prisons more frequent, and deaths oft.
So, Brother Paul are saying, are they ministers of the Mashiach? Are they ministers of Yahushua? I speak as a fool. He says that in labors, in stripes, in prisons, and frequent, and in deaths, in either death threats or actual death, he measured more than them all. Brother Paul went through something. So let's get a history or a testimony of some of the things Brother Paul went through. We just gonna take this instant, we're gonna take the stripes. Let's go to Acts, the 16th chapter of Acts. We're gonna come back to Corinthians. Let's go to Acts 16 and chapter 16. Give me the 17th verse.
We're going to the stripes.
We're going to the stripes. Let's go.
Acts 16 and 17.
Now, mind you, Paul wrote a third part of the New Testament and was one of the greatest chief apostles, one of the greatest apostles that ever lived. He's one of the chief apostles. It's Acts 16 and the 17th verse.
Acts 16 to 17. The same followed Paul and us and cried, saying, these men are the servants of the most high Yah, which show unto us the way of salvation.
So he showed these people in this particular chapter, we won't read it all. He showed the whole city the way of salvation. He went throughout the whole city teaching and spreading the good news, showing them the way of salvation. Drop down to verse 20. We're going to read 20 through 22.
Acts 16 and 20. And brought them to magistrates, saying, these men, being Jews, do exceedingly trouble our city, and teach customs which are not lawful for us to receive, neither to observe, being Romans. And the multitude rose up together against them, and the magistrate rent off their clothes and commanded to beat them.
So you got to be mad if you just rip off your clothes. You got to be highly upset if you ripping off your clothes. But because in verse 21 they said that they are Romans, no, they lived in Rome. Paul called himself a Roman as well, but these were actually Jews. And I'm gonna prove it to you. Now we're gonna come back to Corinthians, but we're gonna come back and then we're gonna come back to Acts, but now we're gonna go to Deuteronomy. So hold Acts now. We're gonna come back to it. Let's go to Deuteronomy. We want to prove that these Romans here are actually Jews. Deuteronomy 25, verses 1 through 3. There's a law that's stated here proving what happened with Paul.
Deuteronomy 25, 1 through 3. If there be a controversy between men, and they come unto judgment, that the judges may judge them, then they shall justify the righteous and condemn the wicked. And it shall be, if the wicked man be worthy to be beaten, that the judge shall cause him to lie down and to be beaten before his face, according to his fault by a certain number. 40 stripes he may give him, and not exceed, lest if he should exceed and beat him above these with many stripes, then thy brother should seem vile unto thee.
So seem vile unto thee. So the point I'm making here is every time Paul was beaten, or every time you see one of our brothers that's beaten by our people, they were beaten for 40 stripes, up to 40 stripes or less. 40 stripes or less. You'll see that here in this saying. So let's go back to Acts. Let's go back to Acts chapter 16. We're going to begin at verse 23. We're going to read 23 to 25. Acts 16, 23 through 25.
I'm sorry, I'm just talking. Acts 16, 23 through 25. And when they had laid many stripes upon them, they cast them into prison, charging the jailers to keep them safely, who, having received such a charge, thrust them into the inner prison and made their feet fast in the stocks.
Mm-hmm.
And at midnight, Paul and Silas prayed and sang praises unto Yah, and the prisoners heard them.
And the prisoners heard them. So you and I, we have never been beat with many stripes. And you and I we've never been in prison for this truth. We have never been in prison for this truth, So I know you're able to endure, and we should be able to bear the burden of this truth that the Most High have set before us, because we haven't been through this. Brother Paul has been beaten with many stripes. He's been put in jail, and he haven't, but we haven't. And many of us, we can't stick and stay. We got to learn how to endure a little bit more, huh? Wouldn't you think? Let's go back to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 11, chapter, verse 24. Let's see some more about what Paul went through.
2 Corinthians 11 and 24.
2 Corinthians 11, 24 and 25, yeah.
Of the Jews, 5 times received I 40 stripes, save one.
5 times 5 times he was whipped. 5 times he received 40 stripes, save one. We just read in the book of the law in Deuteronomy. That's how you know up above what we just read, those Romans were Jews. That's how we know. Because they all according to the law. They didn't give him more than 40 stripes. And tradition was that you got 39 stripes just in case they made a mistake in counting. Because they didn't want to break the law.
Wow.
They made sure. That's why he said, I got 40 stripes, save one. And they didn't give him the last one because they didn't want to, they made a mistake in counting. They gave him 41 stripes. That was breaking the law.
3 times was I beaten with rods. Once was I stoned. 3 times I suffered shipwreck. A night and a day I have been in the deep.
So one night and a day. So all night he treading water. In the deep meaning he was in the water. Treading water all night and treading water all day. So this brother was beat 5 times with 40 stripes, save one. Thrice or 3 times he was beaten with rods. Once he was stoned. Excuse me. And 3 times he suffered shipwreck. And he spent a night and a day in the water, treading water. And you thought you had problems. And he besought the Most High 3 times on his condition and said, get this. And the Most High said, no. Let's get some more history on Brother Paul. Let's go Acts 14. We're going to deal with the, let's see which one we're dealing with. We're going to deal with the shipwreck. We're going to deal with the shipwreck.
Acts 14 and what?
We're going to deal with the stoning. Acts 14 and 19. We're going to go, like I said, we can't deal with all the Pauls. We'll be here all night. We'll be here all day. We just pick which ones I want to deal with. The stripes, we're going to deal with the stoning. Paul was stoned to death one time. He was stoned to death. Have you ever seen what's the name of that movie series Deacon Kiefer?
1,000 Ways to Die.
No, with Rome.
Oh yeah.
Spartacus. When they stoned the slave in the wall and head open.
You
remember that scene? Was I breaking up?
Yeah, you breaking up.
You remember that scene with Spartacus threw the stone and cracked the slave's head open? He was on the wall. You remember that?
Oh yeah, they got mad at him.
Yeah, they got mad at him for doing it.
Yeah.
That was Paul. That was Paul. You got his head. That was Paul. Acts 14 and 19. Forgive me, Brother Paul. I was mad. Brother Paul, forgive me for that.
Acts 14 and 19. If there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, who persuaded the people. And
hold on again. Hold on, Deacon Keeper. It dropped me out. It just pulled me back in. I need you to read the verse again. Verse 19.
It's 14 and 19. And there came thither certain Jews from Antioch and Iconium, and persuaded the people, and having stoned Paul, drew him out of the city, supposing he had been dead.
It wasn't no suppose. He was dead. Paul fell dead. They split his head to the white meat. They did him. It was over. The saints came out, prayed for Paul. He got back up, went back out there preaching. That's for another time, and I ain't gonna go over that. You got to go over that type of history for your own. Drop down to verse 22.
Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must, through much tribulation, enter into the kingdom of Yah.
So through much tribulation, we must enter to the kingdom of Yah. I don't understand people that think they're supposed to go through nothing. Because according to the Bible says through much tribulation. Through much tribulation, we are going to enter in the kingdom of Yah. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 11 chapter, the 26th verse. We're going to go through much tribulation. We're going to enter into much tribulation, I mean. 2 Corinthians 11, 26.
2 Corinthians 11, verse 26. And journeyings often, in perils of waters, in perils of robbers, in perils by my own countrymen, in perils by the heathen, in perils in the city, in perils in the wilderness, in perils in the sea, in perils among false brethren.
Perils among false brethren. Paul, he had to endure. He had pearls of water through shipwreck, pearls of robbers. He was on the road getting robbed. Pearls by his own countrymen, Jews that was doing this to him. It kicked me out for a moment, but it put me back in. All praises. All praises. Pearls in the wilderness, pearls in the sea by shipwreck, and among false brethren, meaning men of the Most High that said, I'm with you, brother Paul, and they left. The folk that lied to him in his face, I'm with you, and you ain't see him no more. False brethren. Let's get the history on Paul by sea. Pearl being in peril by the sea. Let's get Acts 27th chapter. Acts. I'm gonna skip through this chapter. This is a very, very long chapter, but I'm going to skip through it. So you all bear with me. Are you still there, Deep?
Yep. Acts 27 and what?
We're going to do verses 1 and 2 first.
Acts 27, verses 1 and 2. And when it was determined that we should sail into Italy, they delivered Paul and certain other prisoners unto one named Julius, a centurion of Augustus' band. And entering into a ship of Adramyttium, we launched, meaning to sail by the coast of Asia. One Aristarchus, a Macedonian of Thessalonica, being with us. And the next day we touched. Go ahead.
Was that verse 2?
Yeah, that was 2. That was all the 2.
Okay. All right. Drop down to I dropped out for a second again. It keep dropping me out. I don't know what's going on here. But drop down to verse 13. You can keep
Acts 27 and 13. And when the south wind blew softly, supposing that they had obtained their purpose, losing thence, they sailed close to Crete. Continue.
Is that it?
That's it.
Verse 18 through 22.
Acts 27, 18 through 22. And we being exceedingly tossed with a tempest, The next day, the next day they lightened the ship. And the third day we cast out with our own hands the tackling of the ship. And they, and when neither sun nor stars in many days appeared, and no small tempest lay on us, all hope that we should be saved was then taken away. But after long abstinence, Paul, Paul stood forth in the midst of them and said, Sirs, ye should have hearkened unto me, and not have loosed from Crete, and to have gained this harm and loss. And now I exhort you to be of good cheer, for there shall be no loss of any man's life among you, but of the ship.
Now drop down to verse 40 through 44.
Acts 27, 40 through 44. And when they had taken up the anchors, they committed themselves unto the sea, and loosed the rudder bands, and hoisted up the mainsail to the wind, and made toward the shore. And falling into a place where two seas meet, they ran the ship aground, and the forepart stuck fast, and remained unmovable. But the hinder part was broken with the violence of the waves. And the soldiers counsel was to kill the prisoners, lest any of them should swim out and escape. But the centurion, willing to save Paul, kept them from their purpose, and commanded that they which could swim should cast themselves first into the sea and get to land. And the rest, some on boards and some on broken pieces of the ship. And so it came to pass that they escaped all safe to the land.
So Paul was shipwrecked, and this happened 3 times, he said. Shipwreck. This is for the sake of the gospel. Gotta learn something from Paul. Let's go back to 2 Corinthians. 2 Corinthians 11:27.
2 Corinthians 11, verse 27. And weariness and painfulness, and watching often in hunger and thirst, and fastings often, and coldness and nakedness. Beside those things that are without, that which cometh upon me daily, the care of all the churches.
So all of this stuff that is happening to Paul, the shipwreck, the beatings, the stonings, all this stuff, the robberies, all of this stuff, treading water for a day and a half, all of this stuff that's happening to Paul. He still got all of the cares of the churches on him. He's still the bishop of all these churches, so all the churches, and all of their problems. His too. This man had an spirit. He had an enduring spirit. Read on.
Who is weak?
Verse 29.
Who is weak? And I am not weak. Who is offended but burn not? And I'm sorry, who is offended and I burn not? If I must needs glory, I will glory of the things which concern mine infirmities. Yah and Father of our Messiah Yahushua, which is blessed forevermore, knoweth that I lie not.
Mm-hmm.
In Damascus, the governor under Aretas, the king.
That's all I want was 31. Is that
Okay.
31? All
yeah,
right.
that was it.
So this is the attitude we must take. For the Most High I live, and for the Most High I die. Blessed be the name of the Most High Yah. Let's get Romans 8 and 38. Romans 8, 38 through 39. You got to take this attitude. I don't care what's going on around me. I don't care who's doing it and who's not doing it, who's serving and who's not serving. I'm going to serve. That's the attitude you got to take. Romans 8 and 38 through 39.
Romans 8, 38 and 39.
Mm-hmm.
For I am persuaded that neither death, nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of Yah, which is in Yahweh Shai, our Messiah.
All praises to the Most High. Your endurance will bear fruit, brothers and sisters. Your endurance will bear fruit. You got to be steady in your course. And why should anyone believe you when you've been so unreliable? You have to prove yourself to Yah. You have to prove yourself to Yah, and you have to prove yourself to men. You have to get out of the mindset, I have to prove myself to nobody. Yes, you do. You got to prove yourself to Yah, and you have to prove yourself to men. You are your brother's keepers. It's time to get out of your individualistic mind, your individual-like mind. We are a nation of people, brothers and sisters, that's family and love for one another. You are beholden to me, and I am beholden to you. Stop being so unreliable. Stop being so unstable, unsteady. Stop being so unaccountable. Let's get Psalms 37 and 23. Psalms 37, verses 23 through 25.
Okay, hold on one second. I'm having a glitch. I'm having a problem here.
You're giving me time to find more scriptures. You gotta hurry up.
I don't know what's going on with this thing. Okay, I got it. Okay. I got it. Hold on. Psalms what?
Psalms 37 and 23 through 25.
Psalms 37, 23 through 25. The steps of a good man are ordered by the Most High, and he delighteth in his way. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for the Most High upholdeth him with his hand. I have been young, and now am old, yet have I not seen the righteous forsaken, nor his seed begging bread.
Or begging bread. I know your trials sometimes seem meaningless, but Yah has purpose, family. Yah has a purpose, and it's all a big part of his plan. I know you said, what am I going through this for? What is this? This couldn't possibly mean anything. Yes, it does. It's for your making. It's for your changing. It's for changing out that old man. Behold, all things are becoming new. All things. I think people read the scriptures and they don't take them, seriously enough. You are becoming a new creature. So when the pressure comes to help you change. That's what it's there for. Let's get 1 Corinthians 10 and 13. We're almost done. 1 Corinthians 10, 13.
1 Corinthians 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man. But Yah is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted. Go ahead. What were you saying?
That's what. No, keep reading. Keep reading.
Who will not suffer you to be tempted above that you are able, but will with the temptation also make a way for you to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
That you might be able to bear it. In this walk, there's going to be tribulation. In this walk, there are going to be troubles, but longevity is key. Salvation, glory is gained, brothers and sisters, through your endurance. We say it again. Salvation and glory is gained by your endurance. You must hold on. That's right. You must hold on to what you believe and make no mistake about it. Times there will be struggle. They're going to be struggle and it's going to be hard. But this struggle more than likely is a war within yourself, against your own personal lust, against whatever worldly temptation that comes your way. If you want the kingdom, brothers and sisters, you got to make up in your mind you're going to fight for it. And come hell or high water, I'm going to get it. The Most High. We're going to leave it right there. We're going to leave it right there. That being said, we hope that we have raised the level of your understanding. We're going to open up the floor for all questions, comments, and or concerns.